The observation deck of the Celestial Research Station hummed with activity, as dozens of xenobiologists from across the galaxy gathered to witness something unprecedented. Dr. Vex Thor, a crystalline being from Silica Prime, adjusted the viewing screens with her prismatic appendages, her internal light pulsing with barely contained excitement. "Atmospheric composition confirmed," announced Krill, the aquatic hydrogen scientist, his translation device bubbling through the water-filled helmet he wore. "Nitrogen-oxygen mix, trace amounts of carbon dioxide. Standard Deathworld parameters." The viewing screen displayed a barren planet designated as Zone 7, a world so hostile that it had been classified as a biological hazard to 98% of known sentient species. Its atmosphere contained corrosive oxygen, its surface temperature fluctuated wildly, and worst of all, it harbored countless microscopic organisms that could infiltrate and destroy cellular structures with terrifying efficiency. The human had arrived 3 cycles ago, requesting permission to traverse the quarantine zone to reach the research station on the other side. When informed that the journey would require crossing 5 kilometers of Zone 7's exposed surface, the human had simply nodded and asked when she could begin. "She's exiting the airlock now," whispered Trill, a 6-armed hexapod, who had to be physically restrained from fleeing when the human first boarded the station. "Someone should stop this madness." Captain Sarachin stepped onto the rust-colored soil of Zone 7, wearing nothing but a standard jumpsuit, boots, and a small pack on her back. No environmental suit. No breathing apparatus. No radiation shielding. The assembled scientists watched in horror and fascination as she took her first breath of the planet's atmosphere. Dr. Vex Thor's light flickered with distress. "Her cellular structure should be degrading. The oxygen content alone is apparently what her species breathes." Krill interrupted, his voice tinged with disbelief. "I've reviewed the data 3 times. They evolved in it." Sarah walked with casual confidence across the terrain, occasionally pausing to examine interesting rock formations or to take a drink from a container at her hip. The temperature sensor showed the surface temperature at 42 degrees Celsius, hot enough to send most species into thermal shock. The human merely rolled up her sleeves. "Impossible," breathed Trill, all 6 eyes fixed on the screen. "The microbial density in that zone could kill a Thoraxian battle beast in minutes." Yet Sarah continued, completely unbothered. She even stopped to eat something from her pack, exposing the food and her mouth directly to the contaminated atmosphere. The scientists collectively gasped. "What is she doing?" Vex Thor's light was now flashing in rapid patterns of confusion. "The bacterial count. Her species has an immune system," Krill explained, reading from his data pad. "A biological defense network that identifies and neutralizes foreign organisms. Apparently, humans are engaged in constant warfare with microscopic life forms on their homeworld." "Constant warfare?" Trill's mandibles clicked nervously. "What kind of planet produces such creatures?" The answer appeared on the auxiliary screen as Sarah's homeworld data loaded. Earth. A planet where oxygen, the same gas that corroded most starship hulls, made up 21% of the atmosphere. Where temperatures routinely swung by 40 degrees. Where countless predators, venoms, diseases, and natural disasters had sculpted a species that could survive almost anywhere. Sarah had crossed 4 kilometers when the sky darkened with an approaching dust storm. The scientists braced for tragedy, already composing the incident report. But the human simply pulled a cloth from her pack, wrapped it around her face, and continued walking, leaning into the wind. "She's singing," Krill reported, his translator picking up the vibrations. "In the middle of a Category 3 storm." 2 hours later, Sarah arrived at the station's main entrance, brushing dust from her shoulders as the airlock cycled. When the inner door opened, she was greeted by dozens of stunned faces from across the galaxy. "Sorry for the delay," she said cheerfully. Beautiful walk, though. Reminds me of Arizona. Dr. Vexthor's light pulsed weakly. In that moment, every scientist present understood why humans had been classified as a Category 12 survival species, and why their homeworld bore the designation that had become legendary across the stars, Deathworld. The galaxy would never be the same,